A mother's love is supposed to be unconditional, but what if that love turns deadly? Two innocent children, a shocking crime, and a mother with a story that just didn't add up. This is the case of Lisa Snyder, one of the most disturbing crimes in recent history. Stay with us as we uncover the chilling details. If you love true crime and want more cases like this, don't forget to subscribe to True Crime Jar and turn on notifications. Now, let's dive in. The bond between a mother and her children is often seen as the strongest in the world. A mother is a protector, a caregiver, and the one person a child should trust the most. But what happens when that trust is shattered? What happens when the very person meant to nurture and protect becomes the one to cause the most unimaginable pain? This is the sad story of Lisa Snyder, a Pennsylvania mother whose actions left a nation in shock and disbelief. On a seemingly ordinary September day in 2019, emergency responders were called to a home in Berks County, Pennsylvania. The call was frantic. Two young children, Connor, 8, and Brinley, 4, were found hanging from a dog leash in the basement of their home. Their mother, 41-year-old Lisa Snyder, claimed they had taken their own lives. But as investigators dug deeper, the evidence told a much darker, more twisted story. What led to this horrifying act? What kind of mother could do such a thing? And what was the true motive behind it all? As we unravel this case, you'll be left questioning everything you thought you knew about human nature and the unthinkable darkness that can sometimes lurk behind closed doors. The 911 call placed by Lisa Snyder was one filled with distress. She told dispatchers that she had found her two children hanging in the basement, unresponsive. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, hoping to save them, but it was too late. Connor and Brinley were pronounced dead at the hospital. Lisa claimed that Connor, being bullied at school, had taken his own life and had taken his sister with him. But something about her story didn't sit right with the investigators. An 8-year-old planning such a tragic act seemed improbable, and as authorities began their investigation, they quickly found inconsistencies in Lisa's account. Detectives began their work by reconstructing the timeline of events. Neighbors, friends, and school officials were interviewed. Lisa told them that Connor had expressed thoughts of self-harm before, but no one could recall him ever showing signs of distress. Teachers described Connor as a happy, active boy, making Lisa's claims even more suspicious. The coroner's report revealed shocking details. The positioning of the dog leash and the way the children were found suggested that they had not hanged themselves. The pressure marks on their necks indicated an external force, meaning someone else had likely positioned them that way. Authorities retrieved Lisa's phone and computer records, uncovering a disturbing discovery. She had searched for terms like how to hang yourself and best way to kill someone. Can an 8-year-old commit suicide? These searches occurred just days before the children's deaths. Investigators also discovered that Lisa had an unhealthy obsession with her pit bull. Reports surfaced that she had engaged in inappropriate activities with the dog, adding to the disturbing nature of the case. As police built their case, Lisa continued to maintain her innocence, but when confronted with the overwhelming evidence, she began to contradict herself. The media started picking up the case, and public outrage grew. With mounting evidence, Lisa Snyder was officially charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. She was taken into custody, and her case became a national sensation. Social media exploded with discussions about the case. Many questioned how a mother could commit such an act, while others called for the harshest punishment possible. Prosecutors worked hard to establish motive, focusing on Lisa's erratic behavior, her disturbing online searches, and her attempts to cover up the crime. Lisa's defense team tried to argue that she was mentally unstable, suffering from depression and incapable of making rational decisions. However, the prosecution argued that her internet history showed clear intent. Criminal psychologists were brought in to analyze Lisa's behavior. Some suggested she had narcissistic tendencies, seeking attention through her children's deaths. The trial was filled with emotional testimonies. Family members, teachers, and investigators all took the stand, painting a grim picture of the crime. After weeks of testimony, the jury was sent to deliberate. The world watched as they decided Lisa's fate. The jury found Lisa Snyder guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The case became a hot topic in the news, with journalists dissecting every aspect of Lisa's life and crime. Berks County residents were left in shock. Many wondered if there had been warning signs they had missed. Connor and Brinley's deaths were heartbreaking, but they became a symbol of the need for stronger child protection laws. The justice system plays a crucial role in ensuring that crimes like Lisa Snyder's do not go unpunished. From the moment Lisa was arrested, the prosecution worked to build an airtight case against her. The evidence, her internet searches, disturbing statements, and lack of remorse painted a grim picture of premeditation and cruelty. Legal experts debated whether Lisa's case should be used as an example to push for stricter sentencing laws in cases involving child murder. Some believed that the death penalty should have been on the table, while others argued that life in prison was a more fitting punishment. The case raised questions about how the justice system handles maternal filicide and whether such cases should be treated differently from other homicides. Lisa Snyder's crime not only devastated her children's lives, but also deeply affected the rest of her family. Relatives struggled to come to terms with what had happened. How could someone they had known and trusted commit such a horrific act? Some family members distanced themselves, unable to comprehend Lisa's actions. Connor and Brinley's extended family members faced intense public scrutiny. Many people wanted to know if they had seen any warning signs. Did they suspect Lisa was capable of this? And if they had, could they have done something to prevent it? The emotional toll on the family was immeasurable, as they were forced to grieve not only the loss of 2 innocent children, but also the irreversible damage caused by one of their own. Even after Lisa Snyder was convicted, experts debated what could have led her to commit such a crime. Did she suffer from a severe mental disorder? Was she overwhelmed by her circumstances? Or was she simply a cold, calculating murderer? Criminal psychologists examined Lisa's past behavior, searching for patterns of neglect or abuse. Some pointed to her history of unstable relationships and her need for attention, suggesting she exhibited traits of a narcissist. Others argued that her actions were too deliberate to be attributed solely to mental illness, emphasizing the premeditation involved. The debate extended beyond Lisa's case. Experts questioned whether the legal system should mandate psychological evaluations for parents facing allegations of neglect or abuse, potentially preventing similar tragedies. In retrospect, many wondered if Lisa Snyder's crime could have been prevented. Reports indicated that Child Protective Services had received complaints about her before, yet no action had been taken. Could intervention have saved Connor and Brinley's lives? Neighbors recalled suspicious incidents that, at the time, seemed troubling, but not enough to warrant immediate action. Teachers noted changes in Connor's behavior, but without concrete evidence, their concerns remained unaddressed. The case became a tragic example of how crucial it is to act on early warning signs before it's too late. Child welfare agencies across the country began reviewing their protocols, ensuring that cases like Lisa Snyder's were not overlooked in the future. The public's reaction to Lisa Snyder's case was filled with horror, sadness, and a desperate need for answers. Social media became a hub for discussion, with people dissecting every detail of the case. Some questioned whether society should be doing more to detect and prevent child abuse, while others fixated on Lisa's motivations. The case also became a cautionary tale about internet searches and digital footprints. Lisa's Google searches provided crucial evidence that helped convict her. People were reminded that even in the digital age, no one can truly erase their actions online. Despite all the evidence, Lisa Snyder never provided a clear motive for her actions. Why would a mother kill her own children? What could drive someone to such an unspeakable act? Prosecutors speculated that Lisa had been struggling financially and emotionally, and that she saw her children as burdens rather than blessings. Others believed she wanted sympathy and attention, using her children's deaths to manipulate those around her. The lack of a definitive answer made the case even more haunting. Even years later, those who followed the case still debated Lisa's true intentions, searching for meaning in an otherwise senseless act. The tragic case of Lisa Snyder continues to leave many unanswered questions. While justice was served, the emotional wounds inflicted on the community, Lisa's remaining family members, and those who followed the case remain open. But now, we turn to you, our viewers. What do you think about this case? Do you believe Lisa Snyder's actions were premeditated, or do you think there were underlying factors that pushed her to commit this crime? Should the justice system have handled this case differently? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Was justice truly served? Could this tragedy have been prevented? What do you think should be done to protect children in similar situations? The changes brought about in child protection laws, the heightened awareness of child abuse, and the public's ongoing discussions ensure that Connor and Brinley's story will not be forgotten. Their deaths, though heartbreaking, became a catalyst for conversations on how to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Join the discussion, and let's continue shedding light on these crucial issues. Your voice matters.